Alright, I'm on hole number 3 of the Glenmonarch 9-hole cup. Trying to wake up here. Trying to practice today, trying to get some practice in. We got limited practice. Oh my gosh, this is a brutal hole. This is so brutal. Alright, we've got to get up into this. Got to dig up into this area somewhere up here in front of this line. And the first shot is only the opening round of the hurt that this hole can put on you, because this second shot is definitely difficult. You're definitely going to want to bring, you can make it easier on yourself if you've got bigger balls. This is definitely a power 4 ball will definitely help you out on this hole. I'm going to bring a Titan, because I have very limited balls here. I've won some berserkers in the golden shot and the firework balls and the QR code. Let's see what I'm going to bring for clubs. Definitely going to have to bring your big bag. Let's set up a secondary big bag. Big dog. If you have a cataclysm that's got better numbers than your big dog, then your cataclysm will work. Distance and topspin may or may not become that big of a factor depending on how far you can dig into the hole. If any other clubs in this bag come into play, that means that I failed. So it should be out there with your extra mile, on with your big dog, make a putt. And it is. That's a tough combo. I've played all these holes, I don't know how many times, but they're not available in the rookie tours anymore, so you can't play them day to day. And everybody's goal, no matter what tee box you're playing from, is still to get out into this area. If you get out into this front area out here, your next shot is going to be very similar. I'm definitely going to be trying to be bouncing over this sand. You can get over that sand and try and do a rough bump over there to try and get a little deeper into that hole. And that's something you're going to see a lot of people do right there, is just barely dribble off into the rough. So here's 2-4. Let's see what happens if I put just a titch of topspin on it. 2-4. That's leaving the wind in it, and that's going to push me out into that area. So I'm going to take out the side wind, 4-5. I take out the side wind, and then I'm going to put that distance back in it. And I'm just going to see what the wind does, pushing me forward. Isn't it perfect? And see if with just a couple topspin, if it gets me over that sand and dribbles me out there in the front. So maybe one more topspin, and not having to do any overpower or anything. One more topspin. That topspin would have kept me from clipping that rough. And I'm right on the edge, the outside edge of the distance that I'm looking for right there. It would be nice to be halfway further up towards the top of that fairway area. So when I drew that line at Golf Clash Notebook, like you have to be in this area, I'm right on that line. The goal is to try and get so deep down into this fairway that when you engage your big dog coming to the green, you don't have to use, so you can see where I'm at here. So if I cut that distance down, then that cuts the distance. I'm about the same distance here. I'm about where my max ball guide is right there. So instead of having to use a bunch of topspin to try and get over that, let's see if I could blow through the rough here. I'll leave the wind in, and I'm going to see if I can just blow through that rough and do basically a rough bump. And I hit it so far great to the left. I won't get a really good read here. But I would have been able to blow through that rough if I hadn't hit it 75 rings great to the right, or to the left. The deal is that there's no sense in practicing that second shot until I can get that first shot down. So you want to try and standardize that first shot so that you're in a similar area. And for me, I think at least halfway closer to the tip up there, which means that I needed to put on at least one more topspin. I think one more topspin, I would have cleared that rough and rolled down into that fairway. And then the question becomes, is that one more topspin just a little too much and it rolls me off the tip of it? Because I think the drive shot, if we try and go just straight at it like that and try and use the bounces to bounce over, will be pretty good for us. I got a Spitfire and it's 0 level, so it has no backspin. And that little teeny bit of backspin you get on a Spitfire when it's when it's like level 1 is a lot of backspin. So I'll try and get some cards for this to get it up to level 2. I think at level 2 it gets that little teeny sliver of backspin, and that's where it's good. I just got that Spitfire here recently, and I'm a big fan of distance with a sand wedge. I will miss this putt. I'm not trying to do anything today except for just kind of take a look at these shots to get an idea in my mind. I'll go back and watch the videos and see, really look at the shot and see what it'll take to do it. And then I'll play my second account today, my other account today, and really try and tighten that up. All right, that was hole number 3 of the Glenmonarch 9-hole cup. Thanks for watching.